Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, welcome back. This pick a card reading will be, what are people realizing about you? So before we get started, I want to thank you all for booking your personal readings, for liking, commenting, subscribing, for tipping, and showing me so much love on my channel. I truly appreciate it. And if you want more information on how to book a personal reading for me, you can check out my community tab. I have the post there and all the information is there for you. If you do have more that you want to ask me, you can email me. The email is listed in my description as well as in the community tab. So you will be choosing from the images in my thumbnail. So pile 1, you have Michiko Melandro, and pile 2, you have Bayonetta.
万品な感じで天国に昇天行っとかねえかグルービーによ
試すか次はてめえだぜ
So you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, and the Three of Cups. So people are realizing that you are going to live your life regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's hidden from you. You are still going to do what you love. It feels like you may have came out of a situation where there was a lot going on and you were trying to figure out what was happening and who was doing what, but you have since pushed that to the side and simply focused on what's in front of you. It feels like these are people that were trying to keep this cycle going, this cycle of like confusion, of turmoil. They were trying to keep you in a cycle and make you believe that you can't leave. They tried to make you believe that you wouldn't be able to prosper if you weren't connected to them. But it feels like you decided to go in your own direction. And these are people that feel like you are releasing them or you have released them. Whatever thoughts or idea you had of these people have now vanished. You don't care to figure out what happened. You don't care to figure out what was said or anything like that. You just don't care. They see that you're happier. They see that you are enjoying your life. You could have new friends, new people that you have around you, and you're really enjoying yourself right now. It feels like you're someone who didn't mind solving the problems. You didn't mind helping people out. That's probably something that you love to do. But you realize that these are people that were intentionally causing problems, intentionally trying to keep things hidden from you. It feels like people who didn't want you to grow in a certain direction. They didn't want you to grow in your field. They didn't want you to grow wherever you were headed. So this is definitely something that you have a lot of potential in, and it feels like they didn't want you to succeed in that. It seems like these are people that wanted to be taken care of, like they wanted you to always be there for them, always be at their beck and call. But they see you as someone who has realized your own worth, and you are moving in a direction where you will be loved, where you will be accepted, you will be appreciated, and you're really having the time of your life right now. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Tower. Yeah, some of you could have been chasing the idea of love, or you were chasing everything at once. So you were chasing your career, you were chasing love, you were chasing companionship, friendship. It's like you had a lot going on. So it was very easy for you to get confused. It was very easy for you to get distracted. And it feels like you were in a very vulnerable place where you were trying to like find your place, find your footing. You were trying to find your place. You were trying to like figure out where you stand, where you lie, where do you fit in. And you just had a lot of people around you who were just as confused as you are, just as lost. And it just felt like a cycle you were going in. So they see you as the person that made it out. That's what they're realizing about you. You were trying to find a way and you finally found it. So they could still be in a cycle. That's why they're watching you. They're still going through these motions and trying to figure out where should they go? Where should they take their journey? I feel like these are people that do admire you because regardless of where you're headed, you're still taking on whatever challenges come your way. You're not backing down from any type of obstacle. You're overcoming them. And it feels like you're getting better and better. You're becoming stronger and stronger because you are consistently pushing yourself. It feels like you've always had a plan that you were trying to execute. You just didn't have the right people around you to help you execute that plan. So now you are really doing things on your own. You could be meeting people along the way and networking in order to like bring this into fruition. So they realize that you're someone who's not going to stay stuck. You will never stay in the same position. You will never continue to go in this cycle of confusion. So even if you're next to them and both of y'all are lost, you will most likely find a way. It feels like whoever is a part of this loop that is constantly spinning, they feel like nobody will ever make it out. Like the chances of you making it out of this type of situation is very slim. So for you to be the one to make it, they're like, oh, wow. But you talked about this. You could have made it very clear that you're going to be the one to like get out of this type of situation. Some of you, this could have a lot to do with your mental health. This could even be your physical health. You found a way to get help and get yourself to a better place. Put yourself in a better position. Change up your circumstances. Change up your environment. I feel like these are people that underestimated you. So they're looking at you as inspiration now. And they're realizing not just about you specifically, but in general, to never underestimate people. Never underestimate the person that's next to you, because they could be the one to show you the way. They could be the one to guide you to your destination. You have the Ten of Wands and the Page of Swords. Yeah, they're watching you. They're watching you. They're studying you because they have a lot on their plate and they're still trying to like carry these burdens while you have freely removed yourself. Whatever you were holding on to, you released it. You left it where it is. That's how you're able to succeed. That's how you're able to move. But they're still holding on. They still want to carry these burdens with them to wherever they're trying to go. So I feel like a part of them is still not realizing how you did it, how you were able to move. And they feel like they have to bring these things with them, bring all of these problems and burdens and issues with them. These are simply people who have a hard time letting go of things. They could be hoarders. They could have a lot of clutter in their home and surrounding them because they don't know how to release. They don't know how to organize things in their life. And having such a cluttered environment can cause a cluttered mind, a troubled mind, a burdened mind. And I feel like that's the aspect of you that they are struggling to understand. You have cleared your environment. You've cleared your surroundings. You've cleared out your clutter, which have allowed you to clear your mind. And that's why you're able to float through life now. You're able to float to that next destination. And even though an obstacle will come your way, because it is life, we have so many lessons, you will know how to take on that challenge and you will do it confidently. Because if you can get out of this type of situation, this Ten of Wands, and create a new beginning for yourself, you can essentially do anything. You can overcome anything. So they're realizing what you did and what you are currently doing was not easy. So it may look fun and easy and happy now, but it took a lot out of you to get to where you are. And they have to do the work. They have to look in the mirror and hold themselves accountable and do the work. That's what you did. It didn't take magic. You didn't just magically get here. You didn't magically start to live this beautiful life. You have to put in a lot of work. So these are people that are still in this cycle. They're still in this loop of doing the same thing, expecting something different. And although they're trying to follow behind you, they're trying to look up to you, they're still carrying things with them. It's like they're still carrying trash with them. Throw the trash out. They don't want to release it. They want to hold on to it. You have the Queen of Swords and the World. I feel like eventually they will realize the truth of how they can get to where you are, or how they can make their life easier, how they can make it better for themselves. But I feel like it's going to take a lot for them to get to this point where they finally release. These are people that may even reach out to you personally to ask you, how did you do it? How did you move on? How did you grow? How did you do what you've done? And I feel like that's when they realize you had to really break like generational curses. You really had to go through a lot. You really had to complete cycles that came before you, past life cycles. You had to really clear out all of that energy to get to where you are right now. And I feel like it's a concept that will be extremely difficult for them to understand. These feel like people who would simply follow you and not necessarily know why they're following you. Or they don't understand whatever you are expressing to them. They simply don't get it. So if you do have these people reach out to you, the best advice that you can most likely give them is to tell them to be themselves. Go through their own challenges, go through their life, learn from their lessons, and just keep moving forward. Because your path is something that they cannot walk down. They wouldn't even understand. They wouldn't know how to do it. This is your way out. This is how you found a way out. And the lessons you had to learn is completely different from what they have to learn. They're still trying to figure out how to simply let go. So they would definitely be realizing that you are a very strong person. You're a very powerful person. And your purpose is completely different from whatever theirs is. That's why you were able to find your own way out of it. You didn't have to look to someone else or ask somebody else or follow behind somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it just shows who you are and what your purpose is. So it feels like eventually they will realize that they have to figure it out on their own. You can explain it to them, but like I said, they just wouldn't understand. They're not going to get it. The Star, the Empress, Two of Wands. You are meant to continuously evolve. You are meant to continuously ascend and elevate and prosper in your life. And if people don't get it, it's really something that you cannot explain. They have to see it, and if they get it, they get it. You know, it's very difficult to sit down and break this down to people, especially people with this mindset, where they feel like the only way to live their life is to go through this Ten of Wands, carry these burdens and this stress, and that's the only way. They don't see any other way out. So they have to experience life in order to understand something that you can understand without having to experience it. They have to go through the trials and tribulations. They have to continue to go through these life lessons, these repeated cycles. And they won't get it until it's already 10, 20 years down the line. With you, you experience something and you understand. Not only do you understand from your perspective, but you're able to gain a multitude of perspectives through that one lesson, through that one experience. So people are realizing that you are cut from a different cloth. You are not like everyone else. They came across someone who is a star, somebody who is a diamond, someone who you cannot easily find, lying on the side of the road. Wow. And the Hierophant. You're ending your reading with the Hierophant. And you have the Chariot here. So like I said, you are different. And people are realizing this. Whatever they thought it could be like, whatever they thought it should be like, that is completely out of their mind. They're seeing you. They're seeing the way that you are maneuvering through life, the way you are handling these situations that come in front of you. They see how you all started in the same boat, but you managed to create your own boat. You managed to sail to shore. You managed to get on shore and build yourself a home. You managed to create something out of nothing. You are cut different. That's what they're realizing. So if anything, it should give them hope. They should see you as inspiration. They should see you as someone who they can be like. And it doesn't have to be specifically like you to a T. It can simply be, if they can do it, I can do it. We started in the same boat. But they have to understand, which they will soon, that it will not be the exact same way. And I feel like that's something that they are having trouble with, trying to understand, that the path you walk down, they cannot go down that path, like I said before. It's just not going to happen. And I feel like they'll be realizing that in order for you to get here, you dropped everything. You released, you gave it all away. Your problems, your burdens, your stress, you released it. And you trusted that fall. You trust that when you fail, you would land safely. That was step one for you. They're trying to skip steps when the first step is release. Release and trust. So I feel like your growth and your prosperity has a lot of people wanting to rush. It has a lot of people wanting to jump, but they don't trust that they're going to land safely, so they don't. They want to be in your position and have all of your responsibilities and live your type of life and maneuver the way you do, but they don't believe in themselves enough to even handle half of what you have to handle. So ultimately, what people are realizing about you is that they cannot walk in your shoes. Even if they could fit your shoes, they wouldn't be able to walk a day, let alone a mile, let alone a lifetime in your shoes. So they have to go through their own journey. They have to figure out what works for them. How can they prosper? How can they get through their situation? And the most they can do when it comes to looking at you is use you as inspiration. Look at you as someone who was able to overcome those obstacles, which in return can show them they can do the same. That's the most they can do. You cannot stop. You're already on a roll. You're already making things happen for yourself. You physically, mentally, emotionally cannot stop to hold somebody's hand and walk them to the finish line. You are too busy running top speed. If anybody wants to align with you, if anybody wants to see you, they have to be running neck and neck. And even then, you're not looking left or right, you're looking forward. So they have to go down their own path and figure out their own way in order to get to wherever their destination is. So it feels like this will be a buildup of them realizing this about you because you're constantly growing. And I feel like a lot of you are in a season where you're about to really take off. Your success is about to be for the books. People are definitely realizing that you are a star. You are the star. You were born a star. You were born to succeed. Whatever success means to you, you were born to have that. Regardless of how you started, nobody cares about that. We care about where you are headed. We care about what you're doing to get there. And if you're already there, kudos to you. Shout out to you. So that's your reading part 1. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my community tab. And until then, I'll talk to you soon.
ほらいらっしゃい。気持ちよく昇天させてあげる。
主神ジュベレウスに栄光あれ。
So you have the Strength, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So people are really realizing your confidence. They're realizing that you could have been holding back for a while. Some of you may have taken like a long break, but they see something in you that doesn't feel like it happened overnight. This confidence and you being so sure of yourself, they feel like you've always had this in you, but you were like intentionally holding this back. So they kind of feel like you are somebody who have always had this light. You've always been someone who could reach your goals at any time, but for whatever reason you were holding back. You could have been waiting for something or someone. Some of you could have lost somebody as well, and I'm sorry to hear that if that does resonate with you. But it feels like whatever you are doing right now, they know for a fact you didn't just recently learn this skill. Like you've always been very intelligent or very intellectual. You've always been someone who has harbored so much information within a specific field that you're in. It's kind of like they feel played, or they kind of feel like you were hiding yourself. All along you were hiding from being your true authentic self. But the reason is what they're really curious about. They're trying to figure out what's the reason, or what was the reason. So it's kind of like if you are in class and the teacher is constantly calling on you, but you don't want to answer the question, or you say you don't know, but you're acing all the tests. You can easily finish your homework as soon as it's handed to you. What I'm getting from this is people are realizing how amazing you are, but they're trying to figure out, why don't you show more of that? Or why are you just now showing that? Why are you just now stepping into this energy? Maybe some of you were shy for a point in time, or you were just kind of like reserved. Maybe you just didn't really care to like pursue this, but now you are like going towards this confidently. Now you are driving towards this new beginning. So yeah, people are realizing that you've always had this power within you, but it's like you just woke up today and decided, I'm going to embrace this now. I'm going to live in my truth now. You have a lot of people speechless. Like they kind of don't know how to react to you, or like what to say to you. All they can do is watch. It makes me think about like a show where there's like a nerd, glasses, braces, the typical perception of a nerd on shows and in entertainment. And then they get on stage and like everybody's like, oh my gosh, what are they doing up there? Then all of a sudden they start singing or they start like performing and they're extremely talented. They take their glasses off, they let their hair down, they're beautiful, they're handsome. It feels like that. Like people are just like, wait, what? But there's a part of them that feels like you've always had this, of course, because you can't just randomly learn how to sing overnight or learn how to dance overnight or be extremely skilled overnight. So people are just like asking a lot of questions because they feel like if they had this talent, if they had this gift, if they were like you, they would have been, done something a long time ago. But you have your own personal reason, and I feel like people respect it, but they are very curious to know why. Why now? Why were you hiding something so beautiful? And this could simply be you. Like you're finally going outside, you're finally, trying different things, taking yourself out, enjoying your life, and people are like, where have you been? You could also be meeting someone new. And this person could frequent a certain place and you're just now like hanging out there, but you know about the place. So for example, if it's like a bookstore, you know your books, you know which section to go to, but this person has never seen you there, but they can see that you are very interested in all these books. And if they spark up a conversation with you, like you know what you're talking about. So they're like, where have you been? It's like you've been hidden. But now you're out there again. You're putting yourself out there. So people are just shocked. So you have the Page of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Three of Swords. So yeah, it's pretty much people realizing that you're finally stepping into your power. You're finally accepting that this is who you are. You're meant to be this person. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to be known. You're meant to be in this position. Like you belong here. I feel like you will have people upset because, you have to leave them behind in order to go where you belong, in order to go where you're destined. But they understand. You could have some messages in pile 1 because it feels like just the collective in general is going through this like major transformation, and a lot of karmic cycles are being cleared. So whatever you feel like you missed out on 8, 10, or even 15 years ago, it's like it's coming back. Those opportunities are here. I feel like anything is possible right now. The energy feels very magical for everyone, especially when it comes to like wanting to make some changes, wanting to like really transform your life. These are people that are realizing this is farewell. Like you have to do this. This is in your calling. This is something that you cannot fight. You have to step into this energy. It feels like wherever you were or whatever environment you were in, you've done all you could. And now it's time for you to go to that next level. They realize that if you stay here, it'll only hinder you. It'll only hurt you. And it kind of makes me think about the show Friends. When Rachel was ready to leave, I believe she was working at Ralph Lauren, and Ross wanted her to stay, and it was a whole thing with that. And she was telling Ross like the reason why she wanted to leave is because she learned all that she could working at Ralph Lauren. And she got an opportunity to work alongside, I believe, like a fashion designer in Paris. And she had to explain to Ross why she wanted to leave, why she had to leave that job and take that leap of faith. Of course, Ross was being selfish. They had that back and forth connection on and off again. But yeah, pretty much this energy reminds me of that. Your energy reminds me of that. Needing to go somewhere else, needing to like really stand in your truth and live in your truth. Some of you could have been in this energy like kind of hiding away or just keeping to yourself so that you wouldn't hurt anyone's feelings. But over time, you started to realize it's only hurting you. And it's time for you to live your life for you. You've done all you could to help people, to protect people, to guide people. Now it's time for you to ascend. It's time for you to go. And that's that. People are realizing that you have a lot of options in front of you and you're about to take advantage of every single one of them, each and every one of them. You may have had some people who felt like you would stay in this position for a long time. You would never outgrow this, or you would never like be able to pull this off, but you did. But to a lot of people, it feels like it happened overnight, but they know it didn't. They know that this is a long time coming. And some of you, this could be something that's happening in the next couple of months. If you're not already really feeling this energy heavy, it feels like this will transpire in the next couple of months. Like these are the people that see you as you are today, but in the next couple of months, you'll be in this energy. But they can tell that you've always had this in you. You're just now putting it out there. But you have a lot of people speechless. A lot of people are just staring at you like, oh, wow. They don't have anything to say besides stare. That's it. Wow. It's always beautiful when the Ace of Swords come out, but you have the Justice here as well. And like I was saying before, a lot of you could have really cleared out a lot of karmic cycles. And if you look at the planetary alignments, you can definitely understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of major shifts happening, and majority of people, if not all of the collective, is feeling this shift. So a lot of you who have been holding back, a lot of you who have felt like you couldn't do something or there was always some type of blockage, I'm telling you right now is the time. And I said in the last reading, I believe, or the one before, November could be very significant. Like literally the 1st of November, a lot of y'all are going to pop off. Y'all are going to really get things done. Y'all are going to really take off within whatever field you are wanting to pursue, wanting to succeed in. So I feel like whatever confirmations, whatever clarity you needed, especially if you have been watching a lot of readings, you know, it's here. It's right here. Some of you could have been struggling with sleeping. You know, you're staying up late at night, trying to figure out what to do next, or you're trying to figure out why is the energy so heavy. It's because you're going through a major transformation. This is a major shift. And maybe I'll dive deep into the planets and how they are aligning and the transits, but I would advise you to look at your birth chart. Look into your own energy so you can figure out precisely what I'm speaking on. You'll definitely find some correlations, you know, doing your own research. But with these readings that you may be watching, it's definitely confirmation. So you have the Three of Pentacles and the Fool. Like, I can't make this up, to be honest. You are about to take a leap of faith, and it's going to feel like it came out of nowhere, but this is something that has been building up within all of you. If you've been trying time after time and you have not seen the growth, you have not seen the change, try again. This time you will succeed. This time you will see growth. This time you will see change. I feel like a lot of us are getting like a head start because next year is going to be amazing. Next year is going to be crazy. Crazy in a great way. Crazy in like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like all of these things are aligning for me. I can't believe I'm receiving all of this. I can't believe I manifested this last year and it's here already. This feels like a lot of things have been like put on hold, so there's a build-up. Imagine missing the past 10 years of Christmas, and then next year you receive everything. Every month you receive X amount of gifts. It just comes pouring in. That's how this energy feels. And people are realizing this about you. People are realizing you've been holding back, or you may have been held back. Maybe you chose to prioritize people over your own goals. You chose to be selfless. And it wasn't something that you consciously chose to do. It was just natural. But now you're like, you know what? I've done all that I could. So if people don't learn now, if they don't get it now, I don't know what to tell you. I have to go. I have to move. And I have to help some more people by living in my purpose. I have to help some more people by stepping into my energy. So this is really, really, really big for you. And I said in the last pile, you know, they released, they trusted, and then they fell. And they landed safely. And it's the same for you. And you have the cards here confirming this energy as well. This is your confirmation. If you needed anything to get you going, this is it. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. I would say don't be upset if you look back at your life and feel like you could have done this a long time ago, or you should have done this a long time ago. Don't even speak to yourself that way, because There is a reason why things are put on hold. You are being protected from what? Every situation is different. Everybody's situation is personal and different. But I will say you were being protected from something or someone or a situation that would not have been beneficial to you if you would have done it before. But right now, the coast is clear. The path is clear. And with this Knight of Pentacles here, you guys have been very patient. You've been working. You've been doing what you're supposed to do. And now you're like, you know what? It's time to go. I feel like if you would have started this earlier, you would have rushed into it. You wouldn't have taken your time. You wouldn't have had the skill or the diligence or the experience to take it one step at a time. Now you have gained all of this information. You've gained all of this knowledge. So your approach is going to be completely different than what it would have been before. Now you understand that with endings come new beginnings. Before, this Ten of Swords would have scared you. It would have made you, crawl into a corner, sit fetal position and cry and feel like everything is against you. Now you see this Ten of Swords and you say, okay, cool. I have a new beginning right after this. So I will release, I will trust, and then I will fall. Because I know I will land safely. Five of Cups here. Yeah, please don't feel like this. Do not look back and have any regrets or anything like that. It's like I'm speaking it and the cards are showing right after. I'm telling you and then the cards are confirming right after. And that is how you need to move forward in this energy. You know what's going to come before you. You know how it's going to play out. So don't overreact when it happens. Don't get upset and become guarded and closed off and crawl away when something comes in front of you because you know it's going to happen. Although you are in this Chariot energy, although you are in the Ace of Pentacles and the Strength, you will still deal with those obstacles. But you know they're coming. You know that once you reach success, you're going to have a lot of people leeching off of you or trying to. You may be in a place where you have ascended and you can see through people and you can use your discernment and you're very intuitive. But the people coming towards you will still try you. They will still try to slither their way into your life and only cause harm. But because you have learned these lessons already, because you are intuitive, because you can use your discernment, you can weed out the unnecessary people. You don't have to ask them for an explanation as to why they're coming your way. Why not? Like, these messages are repeating themselves. Right now, it's not the time to ask why. Why do they want to hurt me? Why do they want to come into my life? Why? Just do. Just do it. Your energy is amazing. I'm literally like, I need to turn the fan on because your energy is crazy right now. Please do not bring yourself down or stoop down to anybody's level. Nobody is worth that. You deserve your new beginning. You deserve your happiness. You deserve to move forward. You've been stagnant for way too long. And some of you are meant to speak out. Some of you are meant to be public figures. We need you. We need more people like you that can sit and speak the truth, that can sit and really put it out there. That's what we need. So ultimately, what people are realizing about you is that you've always had this within you. They're realizing that you didn't allow anyone to force this out of you. You took your time to produce this. You waited until you were ready. You waited until you really decided, okay, now I want to go do it. Now I want this. I've learned, I've experienced, I have the knowledge, I have the lessons, and now I'm going to go towards it. So once you reach that peak, once you reach that pinnacle, do not start to look back and feel like, I don't deserve this. I know you do. Everything that's coming towards you, all of this positive, beautiful energy, you deserve every ounce of it. It is your time to overindulge in the things that make you happy. And whoever wants to go against that, cut them off. Whoever has a snarky opinion about it, cut it off. Don't consume it. You've consumed enough. It's time for you to be able to have fun and relax and rest and live comfortably. Whatever comfortable means to you, whatever the life means to you. So that's your reading pile 2. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my community tab. And until then, I'll talk to you soon.